Imagine waking up to a world where your job has vanished, your savings are dwindling, and the economy is in freefall. This isn't a dystopian novel. It's the reality millions faced during the COVID-19 pandemic. But how did different parts of the world tackle this unprecedented crisis? Welcome to the Economy Unpacked daily YouTube channel. From Wall Street to your street, we share the world of money in a clear way. Today, we're diving into a tale of two economic powerhouses, the United States and Europe. These giants faced the same storm but chose different lifeboats. Their contrasting approaches to recovery offer a fascinating glimpse into how policy decisions shape our financial futures. When COVID-19 hit, it was like a wrecking ball to the global economy. Supply chains crumbled, unemployment skyrocketed, and both consumer demand and production plummeted. Governments worldwide scrambled to prevent a repeat of the Great Depression. But why focus on the US and Europe? As two of the world's largest economies, their divergent responses provide valuable insights into how different strategies can mold recovery paths. Let's start with the immediate policy responses. In the US, it was all about going big and going fast. The government unleashed a tsunami of cash through massive stimulus bills like the CARES Act and the American Rescue Plan. Americans found themselves with stimulus checks in hand, expanded unemployment benefits, and businesses were thrown lifelines with forgivable loans. It was a classic case of pump money into the system to jumpstart demand. Europe, on the other hand, took a more measured approach. While they did provide support, European countries were less gung-ho about direct cash injections. Instead, they focused on wage subsidy programs. Take Germany, as Kurzarbeit, or the UK's furlough scheme. These were designed to keep workers connected to their employers, prioritizing job stability over consumer spending. This difference in approach led to some interesting outcomes in the labor market. The U.S. saw a quick rebound in unemployment numbers, but it was far from smooth sailing. We witnessed the Great Resignation, with millions quitting their jobs in search of better pay and work-life balance. Critical industries faced labor shortages, showing that while jobs came back, stability was still shaky. Europe's strategy paid off in terms of employment stability thanks to those wage subsidy programs. They avoided the mass layoffs seen in the U.S. This helped maintain social cohesion, but it came at a cost. The recovery in hiring was slower, and there were fewer job shifts. The upside, a steadier workforce environment. Now, let's talk about everyone's favorite economic boogeyman: inflation. In the U.S., the rapid stimulus-driven demand recovery sent inflation soaring to levels not seen in decades. The Federal Reserve had to step in with aggressive interest rate hikes, creating a whole new set of challenges for borrowing, investment, and the housing market. Europe's inflation story was a bit different. It was less about consumer demand and more about external shocks, particularly rising energy prices due to geopolitical tensions. The European Central Bank (ECB) was more cautious than the Fed, trying to avoid stalling the fragile growth. But eventually, they too had to tighten monetary policy. These approaches reflect fundamentally different economic growth models. The U.S. went for a growth-first strategy, prioritizing speed and a rapid rebound. Even if it meant risking inflation and inequality, it's a high-risk, high-reward approach that shows a higher tolerance for short-term volatility in hopes of long-term gains. Europe, in contrast, adopted a stability-first model. The focus was on preserving social and economic balance, minimizing unemployment shocks, and protecting households. The trade-off: slower GDP growth in the short run. This brings us to a crucial point: social safety nets and inequality. Despite the strong GDP recovery in the U.S., inequality widened. Lower-income households were hit harder by inflation and job instability. Those stimulus checks, they provided temporary relief, but weren't a long-term solution to deep-rooted inequality issues. Europe's stronger welfare systems and universal health care acted as a buffer for vulnerable groups. By maintaining employment relationships, they avoided a surge in inequality. However, this approach wasn't without its challenges, particularly in boosting innovation and productivity post-crisis. So, what lessons can we learn from these contrasting approaches? The U.S. showed that speed and boldness can restart growth quickly, but the side effects of inflation and inequality raise questions about long-term sustainability. Europe proved the value of stability, social protection, and gradual recovery. Yet, their cautious approach might leave them lagging in competitiveness and innovation. These lessons aren't just academic, they have global implications. Emerging economies and policymakers worldwide are watching and learning. Each model has its trade-offs, and nations must find their own balance between growth, speed, and social protection based on their unique economic structures. The divergence in approaches could also influence how the U.S. and Europe cooperate or compete in global markets, trade, and international financial stability in the post-pandemic era. It's a dynamic that will shape the global economic landscape for years to come. As we wrap up, let's summarize the key differences. The U.S. model was fast, stimulus-heavy, and growth-focused, but it came with inflation and inequality. Europe's approach was cautious, stability-focused, and socially protective, but slower in growth. This leaves us with a crucial question. Which model do you think offers a more sustainable future? Is it better to aim for rapid recovery at the cost of inequality, or steady recovery with more stability but slower growth? There's no easy answer, but it's a debate that will shape economic policy for generations. We want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below, sharing your perspective. Do you lean towards the U.S. model or the European approach? Or perhaps you have ideas for a hybrid solution. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights into global economics. Remember, understanding these economic models is just about numbers. It's about shaping the world we want to live in. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep unpacking the economy.